Hey. Here, got to here. Connecting you. Nope, not yet. I look all good on my side.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you. I had to swap computers. My the one I've been working on with a long time, the battery died.
Yeah.
And that's like where all my stuff is. And then it's like, oh, I got this today. I'm like, oh, I'll just take a couple seconds to load this up. And it's like, and now I'm like frantically watching the clock and everything.
Yeah.
Hold on, it's like one more thing I got to do here. Now I want to do that. Participants. I got to change the name. My boss's name is on it here. So.
Oh, good.
So when we
how many Zooms we've been doing this time, and like I'm like, oh, I get flipped out every time. All good. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Woo. Just to hang on as I do my busy work.
You got it. Do your thing.
Got that. Oops. Okay. Because then the guy who has to edit this later gets like, oh, you forgot to change the name because it's under our boss's account and everything.
Right.
All right. So got this. Close that window. It's start recording already. Okay. Yeah. Let me double check. Oh, now he's gonna hear me talking shit. I was like, oh, the guy has to edit this. He's gonna be mad that I changed the name.
It's all teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work, man.
Sure does. What's cracking? How you doing?
Nothing much, man. How's life in sunny California there?
It's good. It's hot as hell right now. Where you at?
New Jersey, near Atlantic City.
Okay. Yeah, it's like 90. It was 97 yesterday. It shouldn't be that hot yet. I mean, I'm up in Northern California too, so it's like but it's too hot for this time of year.
Yeah, we're like in this I'm having this fight because it's like I don't want to turn the heat back on because we had a couple warm days and then it cooled off again, and now it's like I'm just gonna sit here and freeze. I refuse to turn the heat back on. The calendar says May 13th. I refuse.
I'm with you. I got to turn off, like I have one master thermostat, and then I got to like do that, and then all the other, there's like these little weird ones in the rooms, like little cassette ones in the ceiling, so they have to reset to. You got to set it back to AC or heat, and that's it really ain't that big of a deal. But come on, I already said it. I just set it back to AC now. So
first world problems.
Exactly. Hey man, totally.
So I was doing some research on you. We're about the same age. And being that you're in Sacramento, it always hit me, being like many years in radio, the band Tesla from that area. Totally. And I was just wondering, since like growing up, how did you get more into the, like instead of getting into the hair band things, like, a lot of, guys our age did back in the day, it didn't seem like you got into that at all. You definitely went right into a darker metal type thing.
Totally. I mean, that's a great question. Actually, I think it's regional. It's time. Like I'm 46 or 47, one of the two. Yeah. About to be 47 or 48, one of the two. Anyways.
We're at the point we stopped caring. So
I'm serious. I don't know. It's one of those two though, for real. But what's crazy is like, so I was into all that. I mean, Rat and Mother, I love Mother, all these bands, but that was like when I was 12, 13. Yeah. Around 14, I just started to get into like, obviously Bay Area is close by, Death Angel, Metallica, Testament, Thrash, Primus was there at the time too. And everything was very close to Sacramento. It's an hour away. So they would be coming to town. But I love, and then Tesla, you say, I mean, I was rocking Tesla. I love that band so much. And Frank Cannon actually produced one of our first demo tapes.
Really? Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. But I love that band. Yeah, I love that band. And but it's a trip. It's just probably the time, just that it was on the cusp of both those eras,
Yeah, because like growing up, I was like I was into the hairband thing too, and then when the '90s hit, then you start getting into like I was doing the college thing, and getting into those bands like Chili Peppers and Pearl Jam and REM and stuff like that, and then it's like, and that's when I feel like music, especially rock, really started subgenring a lot, was in the '90s, and started getting like very specific type genres. But talk a little bit about as a drummer, I saw your influences were kind of like Stuart Copeland and the Police, which you know, obviously growing up in our age range, I mean, the Police were probably like everything, you know. But you're like such an accomplished drummer now. Like you obviously had guys you looked up to. How is it at this point now that you have bands coming up that are looking up to you?
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, but that's like, you know, it's part of the cycle, I guess. It should be circular. You should, you know, it should always be evolving and going somewhere. But I mean, you know, when we're young, you know, we always, you know, we were inspired and influenced by someone, and you take it and you steal it, you know, but hopefully you jack it, and hopefully, you know, you run it through your ears and your heart and and make it your own. That's how anything that anyone does should be, you know, like you get influenced by something, whatever it may be it baseball, music, anything. And you try to see, you got to have something to aspire to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just part of like, I mean, Stuart Copeland's my favorite drummer in the world of a million of my favorite drummers, but I can't sound like him because he's just too out there. But you know, everyone tries to nick little things, but that's just all part of the process. And that's the fun part too, is when you finally, you know, get to a certain point where like, you know what, I think I sound like me now, you know, and that's a good spot to be.
As the band was developing, going through like the years, and you guys, you know, play shows with other bands, and like a lot of bands always kind of come up together, and a lot, you know, and if you break together, then it's like you tour. And did you watch other drummers to pick up like other things? Because drumming is like, of all the instruments, that's the one that fascinates me the most, because it's like I feel like I can do it, but then I can't. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also the best seat in the house too.
Yes.
Get to watch it all go down. It's, you know, so. Yeah, I mean, you know, we've been lucky, man, over the years to really, we've toured with so many, you know, got to open up with so many different people that we, you know, grew up on, were gods to us, people that we, you know, thought were cool and got a chance. But you're always picking stuff up, you know, just being able to play with anyone in clubs, to open in for Ozzy the first time in arena, on our first arena tour, we were open for Ozzy, you know, and just seeing how that level and everything in between, you always just, I just watch, man. I'd like to see how things go down. And I mean, I was real young and real busy, and Randy Castillo was playing drums for Ozzy at the time. And he's like, I watched him at sound check, and his movements, that music was made for huge arenas, you know what I mean? And our stuff was more like kind of crazy. And the things I were doing were never going to make it to the last seat. He's like, dude, he's all, Abe, I played to the last seat in the nosebleeds when I play. And I was like, whoa, man, that makes total sense. Cause you know, shit gets lost. And so just always picking stuff up, man. And really being able to just, it's never done learning, you know, unless you want to be.
It was interesting. I got to a friend of mine, Metal Mike. He played with Rob Halford, and he had a couple of his own bands. So he and Bobby Jerzimbic, he was like the you know, he was the drummer in Halford as well. I got to do like a little road trip with those guys once in like a busted up van where they were doing like a gig. I was like, you know, the road manager for the day type thing, you know, because we're buddies and stuff. And while I was driving, Bobby was talking to this other kid that just happened to be in the van with us, and he was asking him questions about drumming, and the math that he was throwing at me, like numbers, like it just blew my mind. Like it was just like that's why I can't drum. There's too many numbers going on, man.
Yeah, I can't think about that, man. I can count to 4 and that's it. So no, but I mean, no, it's crazy. And you know, to me, it's more of a feeling thing. I got to feel, but I mean, there's so many different players, and you get all technical too. And I just like to I try to make it feel good, you know, and try to make people make booties, or I say asses wiggle, but you know, I don't know what I could say on this. So, you know, but
Zoom, it's gonna be on the internet. You can do anything. It's a wild.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, but it's cool though, because it's like I feel like it's, you know, sometimes guitar players have like a definitive sound, but then a lot of them will sound the same. But then it's certain drummers do get a definitive sound. I feel like with Deftones, you definitely brought a definitive sound with that band, and it's like, you know, you look at the description of Deftones, and you've got, you know, metal, alternative, new metal. Like they put you in all the genres, because I think you guys are kind of on a genre all to yourself, which is really hard to define. Do you feel that way?
I've always thought that too.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I no, totally, man. I mean, we're always you got to like do something to set yourself apart. And, you know, it's human nature to want to like drop things in categories, because that way you can, look it up in there it is. That's that category. So, but yeah, even what you're saying about the 90s, about, you know, the subgenres and really the categorization of all these new sounds. And I don't know, it's just rock and roll to me.
Yeah.
And I like it.
And you got to get your own sound. So another question I wanted to bring up, because you know, popped over to the website real quick, see what was new on there. New video you guys released a couple weeks ago for ceremonies, right? Or ceremony.
Yeah.
And something that also It's funny. The other day, I put up a post on my my morning show page on Facebook for the radio show. It was MTV's schedule for the week, and like 90% of it was ridiculousness, and like and a couple, and then like a couple other shows. But yet here I see your band. I've seen like the Prereq did a bunch of videos. Like there's a bunch of bands doing real videos. I mean, you guys did like a real concept with actors and interacting with the band, and there's like a whole scene going on with the tarot card thing. And you got you actually did a concept, and it seems like why can't there be? And people are watching the videos. There's like millions of views on these videos. It just boggles my mind that it's not back on MTV.
God, man. I mean, as much shit as we talked about MTV at certain periods of their, I mean, when it first came out, I was like, I think the first song I saw was Night Ranger. It was Sister Christian.
Yeah.
Sister Christian. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, but that was the first, but I mean, that was the first, and all through the 80s and all these different, dude, I don't know. I don't get it. It's necessary. It's needed. It was such a cool thing. Even when they had a few of those, you know, Real World, whatever, to break it up, that was fine. But I've been trying MTV in the longest time, you know, I don't even know.
But do you guys hesitate when it comes to making a video? It's like, well, I mean, it's going to be on YouTube, but do we really want to put this much effort into it? And I mean, because you guys, that was like a little mini movie you guys put together.
Yeah. I mean, you know, what's crazy is like, I think that's probably our 25th, 6th, 7th video, I think, that we've done. And we've had out of all those, we've had maybe 2 or 3 that were pretty good.
Yeah.
And our videos they're pretty, we got some bad ones, man. And and there was a time when you had to pay like $1 million around the mid 2000 or early to mid 2000s. You had to pay at least $1 million for a video for MTV to even consider putting in, you know, like that's ridiculous, man. And we did that a couple times. It's this new one we did. It looks like a full on, and it was like, you know, the budgets that was nothing, but that was also a guy named Lee Wanell did it. He was director. He wrote he co-wrote with his best friend all the Saw movies, and then he he did Invisible Man recently. He's Insidious and Upgrade. So he's just sick director. So that's why obviously, and just a real cool dude to boot. But that's why, I mean, and we didn't have to do anything in it except to be some bouncers. And believe me, I'm not very imposing, man. So
of course, last year you put out the album Ohms, where this one comes from. Obviously, I asked a lot of bands, 2020, obviously the, you know, worst, you know, year to try to put out music, but you guys went ahead and went with it. And some bands, you know, and, you know, as music fans, we're all thankful that you guys, you know, did bring out new music for us to pass the time with and consume and whatnot. What kind of challenges did you guys run into with, you know, in your perspective of putting music out for 2020?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much, well, I guess probably did as much as everyone else did too. I mean, anyone that was planning on doing that. We actually we had been off for about, you know, a year prior making a record and kind of, you know, tilling out a bit. And we had this huge plan. We were actually 8 hours away from leaving on a 2-year world tour, man, all booked up and ready to go. And we were like 8 hours from heading down to Australia. And I was like, coronavirus was out. And I was like, you know, I think we're going to go, guys. And I'm still packed.
Yeah,
that was my bags are still packed. But yeah, so that happened, man, and you know everything got put on hold, obviously, for everyone on Earth for the most part. You know, come on, and so we're just now starting to put everything that we had in 2020 was basically picked up and just dropped into 2021. But that in itself is a whole. That's even we're waiting on that too. That's, you know, for the green light. But but that in itself creates such a clusterfuck because not just us, everyone is going to be back out, you know, logistically, flights, buses, you know, and everything, and people's dollars. I mean, how, you know, people can only afford what they can afford, and it's been hard, man. So, but I mean, we just kind of said, you know, we were ready to put it out, and we're like, you know, we pushed it back a couple of weeks, and we just really said, you know what, shit, if anyone that digs us can get something off this and maybe brighten their day a bit, let's just put it out, man. Go with, you know, so we just kept on schedule. And that was that. But it's weird, man. It's weird.
And now you're like, hey, where's that T-shirt? Oh, it's been packed for a year. It's my Australian clothes are still packed.
My lucky underwear, that one pair.
I was talking to some other bands too, and they were like saying like, the nightmare of trying like you have bands that were going to go on tour, then bands that need to go on tour because they did stuff like everyone's like wanting to tour at the same time.
Totally.
So obviously you guys are going to do a worldwide tour. Are you just like are you kind of like wiping it clean and start from scratch, or because you had tickets maybe sold already, you're trying to reschedule some things in like same towns?
Yeah, that's a funky situation too. People like, bands that are holding, I mean, it's not even the bands are doing it, it's the people bought tickets, and sometimes you can return them, sometimes you can, or you can, they're good. They're still being rescheduled. So it kind of holds people in limbo, which is a shitty part of the whole thing. If you're able to give back, you can. We have a tour that we're hoping to still starts in August, man, with us and Gojira, some buddies of ours from France who just put out a sick ass record. But that's still looking like it's going to happen, but it's crazy. So, and then stuff is in 2022 now still. So this whole thing was kind of broken up, and I'm just fingers crossed. I don't know. Can you do 2? Is that bad luck?
Do as many as you can,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got the tarot card game on your website. Just like read the cards and see what the
future holds, man. Yeah.
Yes.
For real. Yeah.
Well, Abe, thanks so much for taking some time this afternoon with us, and look forward to to seeing you guys live. I think you guys did Ozfest before. I'm pretty sure that's where I've seen you like way back in the day, where I mean every Ozfest New Jersey was like 99 degrees.
Oh hell yeah.
No matter what. So and also too, it's just little props. It seems like you were one of the few bands, I believe, that a lot of bands will put out an album and like you really go back to their earlier stuff, but you guys have definitely progressed as far as every album is like, I truly feel they're better than the last. I'm not saying your early stuff is bad. I'm saying
definitely progression, yeah, totally. And we're just, trying to keep it fun for us and fun for whoever might dig us, and we might have to go back to Cherry Hill again. Let's do this. We got Cherry Hill, we got Sayreville, we got all these, we got the Shore.
Yep. PNC Bank Art Center, Camden.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would love to see you guys right in Atlantic City, get those casino gigs.
God, man, the last time we were there was, I think, a while back, and right before Sandy came through, man. I mean, wild. And then, yeah, I think it was House of Blues one time up there last time we were in Atlantic City. So, man, yeah, we need to get everyone back to living and back.
All right,
well, doing their thing.
We'll cruise around the beach. We'll listen to some Tesla.
I'm down, dude. I'm down. Know that.
All right, man. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, see you soon.
You bet. Thanks so much.
All right,
have a good one. To you too. Peace.